Alright, so what you just saw on TV was not my TV, but what that was the D9834, another satellite receiver that was from the last video. This is not the same one from that video. This is a different one. Or different unit, same model, but but I have that one, and I have this one. That is a friend called me over and said they were having issues with it, so I went over and I'd actually had another one doing what his was doing, which was what you saw on the screen. So they said it just started not having a good picture, and I was like, okay. So I went over, and sure enough, same thing as a different one. But what's weird is this one's a little bit different in that I didn't get a video of it, but whenever, even if it's turned off, like the power's still plugged in, but it's not turned on, it gives a lines on the screen like that, like what you saw. Not as bad, but you can still, they're still noticeable. So the one you just saw the video of is this one I'm opening up now. But I have another one that we looked at before in the last video when I put the ESR meter on the power supplies on two different ones. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to put the ESR meter on the, oh, missed one, on the main board, and I'm going to show you which caps on this specific unit, and I mean any other device that has outputs is going to be very similar, because you know your RCA outputs are pretty standard setup. You know, it's not like a satellite receiver is going to work different than anything else that has RCA outputs. You're still going to need capacitors in there to get them to clean up your signal. So anyway, but the reason I'm doing a video for it is because I have two units, and I want to see the unit that I know is bad. I want to see what the ESR for the capacitors near the RCA outputs is, and then I want to check the ones on the other one, because what it is the menu. When the menu comes up, it doesn't show bad necessarily, and it's kind of weird, because I had one that looked great on the menu and everything, and then as soon as I put a video on it, like I actually got a signal on it and everything, it looked like complete and utter crap. So I want to take a look at it. You know what? I'll do that later, not in this video. Like I said, it's for a friend, so I'll probably end up recapping the power supply for him. They're going to be here for a while, so they're going to be using this thing for a while, so might as well recap it for them, and that way it'll last them while they're here. Anyway, okay, so there's our RCA's video and two audio. So the majority of the capacitors are right in here, but I'm gonna, for the video, I'm just gonna check these, but I'm gonna go through and check all of them over the whole board. And the last one, I didn't have the ESR meter, so what I did, recap the whole thing. Yeah, there's like 24 or 26 capacitors. There's like 20 something capacitors on there. So kind of a pain in the butt to replace them all, but I'll stop repeating myself on the fact that I just replace them all because I'm selling stuff. So and then again, this is for a friend, so might as well do right by him, right? All right, let's get the ESR meter. I'm gonna short the leads out, get it zeroed out. Boom. All right, cool. So let's see if I can do better than the last video and not knock it down 20 times. We'll shoot for 15 this time instead of 20. All right, so I'm just gonna come in here, and I have a suspicion that the one I want to look at the most are these 5 right here. Those 5, because they're more in line. This one's kind of outlier over there. This one's kind of chilling over here. So we'll concentrate on these 5 right there. Let's see what we get. So let's see if I can get it to focus on the ESR. There we go. That's better. You see that? So that's 2.9. That's high. I can tell you that's pretty high right now. Whoa. That's super high. 3.7. 2.8. That's 0.66. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can see it get better in the camera than I can from where I'm at. So yeah. Let's see. That's a 0.2. That was 4. Is that the? There's. There it was. That's 1. Just keeping count. All right, I got the 5th one. Oh, there we go. And that's 2.2. Whoa. 2.2. Alright. So the 2 ones that I think are better is that 2.9 and the 3.7. So let's take a look at those values real quick. I think they're 10 mic 25 volt. Yep. Oh yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to get that in the shot. It's not enough. That's what happens when you just using your phone, I guess, right? So 10 mic, 25 volt. So if we look, we're looking at this line here, and then we go 25 volt up. So it's right on that cusp. Like that's, you know, you got to eyeball it. That 3.8, I would say, is definitely over that. Definitely over that. But what I got, hold on a sec. I got a brand spanking new 10 mic 25 volt. So let's see what she has to say about this. So a brand new one is 1.3. So anything, you know, having a new one to compare to is good. You know, that way you got your chart. You know, it's nice to have the chart. Chart's good is nice, but having an actual new one and seeing what it does, because especially with video and stuff, it's going to be sensitive to those capacitors going bad. So if the new one's reading 1.3 and these are all reading 2.8 and 3.5, then that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go straight to those and change those out, and I'm pretty sure they'll they'll be straight after that. Now this is another one that I'm going to sell. So now I'm going to check these. I haven't even checked this. All I've done is that the only thing I've checked on this one is what I did in the last video, and that was the power supply. So now that my friends went bad, I'm curious to see if this one's bad too, or getting close to being bad. So I'm going to check those same two that were pretty high and see what they look like. Sorry. Oh. So I'm wondering, even though the one I have is reading a lot lower, because these are, and see, those are both reading the same. But, oh, come on, that's horrible. Okay, there you go. It's 0.64, okay. Didn't have good contact. That one, what was that? That looks horrible. Why the solder joints look horrible. Alright, so those are the same 5. Those two are reading 2.8. So, these are these are all Nichicon capacitors, so that's pretty good. Figuring that what you see on a lot of things. So, the one that is reading 3.8 or 5, what was it? 3. Oh no, it's 3.8. So 3.8, that one is more than likely the crappy one. But we can go a step further maybe and see if that's the case. Give me a sec here. Let me turning my bench meter on. Give me just a sec. Where my benches are set up, I got plugs my bench is in the way of a plug, so I'm down to one plug, so I gotta swap some stuff around. Alright, so I got it on well, I thought I did. Oh, I was doing some other stuff. It's set up for current, that's why it's not. Hold on. Alright, so continuity. Alright, so that's the ground pin. This should be... Alright, so there's the actual video pin. I'm just curious. Oh, let me get back. Sorry, I gotta switch it. It's not dead continuity to it, but... So from the positive pin to that capacitor, the positive side of that capacitor, I got 180K. And to the other one, that was to the 3.8. And now what I'm trying to do is see if I can find the capacitor that is on the video line. Just out of curiosity, you know. That was a lot closer. This one right here is getting some like 500 ohms. So that one might be the best or the closest. But so yeah, I'm gonna change those caps out. The ones I'm gonna change those 5 out, and and I think I got all of them. 116, 10 at 25, 10 at 25, and 10 at 25. So I'm going to change them all and see if that fixes it. Or just those 5. I'm just going to do these 5 right here. I'm not going to do another video of me changing capacitors, but I'm going to change those 5 capacitors right there closest to the... There's some more. This one's by what looks like some kind of power IC, and then this one's kind of off over here. So I'm gonna concentrate on these 5 right here and see what we get. So I'll run it back up after that and see if it fixes it. Alright, so I didn't record it because it was doing the same thing in the end. So those 5 right here, even though this one here, sorry, even though this one here, or this one, yep, sorry, this one was reading really high. Let's take a look at it real quick and see what she says now. I got a new one in there. See what we get on the readings. Remember, it was 1 point some odd. So yeah, there you go. So now they're reading lower. They were still kind of technically like right on that cusp of what they should have been reading, but now they read a lot better. So anyway, it was still doing it. It was still having issues. Still not reading good. Or I'm sorry, still not showing good. So I'm like, okay, what are our options now? Well, work your way out. So let's, because obviously we're having a video issue. So let's check this one and these 2 right here and see what we get. All right. So alright, so that one's, come on, I need to come up with a better, these are the leads they give you with it, and I just, I'm not going to go out and buy anything just to do it. I mean, shoot, I paid $80 for the meter to begin with, right? So that one's 2.8. Let's see, and then these 2 over here. By that, what appears to be a power IC. Okay, so one of those is reading like really low, or good, so that's good. And then the other one's reading like the rest, the 2.8. And maybe it's reading a little bit higher. Okay, there you go, 2.8. So, like I said, that 2.8 range for a 10 mic 25 volt, it's not horrible. So what I'm also thinking is if we've got just bad signal, because this is your input from the dish, if we just got bad signal coming in, or not bad signal coming in necessarily, but our signal's not getting cleaned up and stuff how it needs to with all the regulating around it. Now, which ones? Because I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in the vicinity of the input. So I'm just going to kind of start here, and we'll work around and see what happens. See what we get as we work around. Alright, cool. You see, yeah, 0.12, 1.7, 0.27, 1.3. So I'm not having to flip the board over because obviously, we just looked at the general area, but the capacitors have a positive and negative terminal. The positive is square, negative is round. They're circular. So I just go and look for those, and the leads are, whoa, are really close. Holy crap, that's 4. Another 10 mic 25 volt. There you go. I don't know what that goes to, but I mean something that's not good. Four's gonna be too high. 0.23 is good. What? No way. 20. That there, you're seeing that right. There's no decimal on that. Is this thing? Yeah. Hold on. I got a little. When you get it and you build it, they give you a little calibration resistor. So I kind of keep it handy. It's 82 ohm. You put it on there. Yeah. So that's meter's good. She's reading right. No way. I think we might have just found like the ultimate bad. I don't know. That's reading 19. Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's get that bad boy off of there and see what it reads. Now, the whole point of an ESR meter is to check them in circuit, right? But, I mean, you get 20. I mean, that's just crazy. That's just insane. Like, how can you be that bad? I mean, that's horrible. Shit. Stubborn. Alright. Yeah, it's a 100 mic 16 volt. But I mean, this line does not go over 10. So this thing is 20. That's just no bueno. I mean, you got to get, to even get over 10, you got to be under the 10, or under, I guess 5 to 10 mic, huh? Alright, so that's kind of weird. Okay, so, okay, oh, gosh dog it. Alright, can you see that? Yeah. Let me get it to focus. Alright. So my leads are touching. So, this thing is like showing an open. I'm trying to get it to read high. My lead, like, if I move it barely. Oops, sorry, I thought that was in shot. Like, if I just barely take those and turn it out, that's reading open. Like, just straight open. That's my leads touching. And then that's on the cap. So, yeah, I'd say that one's bad. So, we'll, you know, if you don't have an ESR meter and you're just trying to fix yours at your house, do you want to spend the money to get all the caps? I've got the low value resistors. I've got a bunch, so I just change them because I have them. But the good thing though with them is you have a lot that are the same value, you know. And obviously, if you just have a satellite receiver that's doing the same thing and it's not the same model, or even brand, your main board's going to look a lot. It could look completely different. So, you could try just going and changing the ones on this half of the board, because that's your satellite input and your video, so you could maybe get away with that. Like these over here, this is if you're using the cable, the coax cable to go from the receiver to the TV, then you'd have to worry about these. This one's got a serial and Ethernet, so yeah, don't worry about that. And then these up here are power. This is where the power comes in. So this is going to be some more power stuff over here. And then again, there's another TO220 power IC right there in this heatsink. So that's what those two are going to be for. So yeah, so I'm gonna change them all. At this point, that almost seems like a time saver of changing a few, go and check it out, still not working, change a few, do it again, do it again, do it again. Obviously that one we just pulled out, it's got to be changed. But we got one that read 4, and then there's a lot of them are reading 2.8. So, 2.8 might technically be good, because if you look, the 10 is covered in this line as well. So which one do I look at, right? To me, I want to look at this one on the bottom, and that 2.8. I mean, we're getting some that are reading a lot lower than that. So, all right, so I'm gonna change caps. Actually, some of them I gotta change. I don't have. I gotta wait for them. I actually just ordered some, so just waiting for them to come in, and we'll get them changed, and once I get them changed, I'll finish the video. Okay, so I went ahead and recapped this thing, the main board, and because I think it was this one right there, it was reading like 20 ohms on the ESR meter, and then when I got it out, it was reading open. So I checked a few other ones. One over here was reading like in the teens, I think, or like 10. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to recap it. So I recapped. The only two I didn't touch were these two right here by this TO220, by that little heatsink right there. Left those two alone because they're way up in the front, so I don't think they're going to have anything to do with the crazy video. So let's see how it looks with all new caps. So there was no picture, but because I accidentally reset the key for this one, but I have to fix that, but that's no worries. But you could still see from like earlier in the video, even on the black screen, it was like really, really wavy, and you could see the crappy video from there. So pretty much first I did these caps, obviously by location near the RCA output. Hey, let's try those first. Didn't do anything. So then so watch back in the video and see which ones I changed after that. But in the end, what we were looking at was more than likely in this area right here, because like I said, one of these was reading open almost once. Well, it was reading open once I got it out, but it was reading 20 ohms on the ESR meter installed. But if there's 26 caps on here, and they're all pretty low. I think the highest one is 220 at like 16 volts, and there's 300s at, or 3 100ths at 50 volts, I think. The majority are 10 mic at 50 volt. So, but kind of applies to any receiver. If you've got really crappy output out of the RCA, just recap it. Really, it's just a crappy output. Just recap the main board, and you shouldn't have any issue. It should fix it up, hopefully. But if it's not the caps, then you got something else going on that might make it beyond economical repair at that point. So, cool. Hope you enjoy it. See y'all later.